Former U.S. Attorney Preet Bharara recently spoke to Dahlia Lithwick, where Bharara said that he believes he is seeing signals from the district attorney right there in Manhattan, Cyrus Vance. Preet believes that he is seeing signals coming from that office that indicate that criminal charges against Donald Trump might be just around the corner. So what are these signals? Obviously, and Preet makes this clear, like he's not actually talking to them, right? He has no inside knowledge whatsoever about this investigation. He's not trying to say that they're giving me signals. No, he's just saying, look, as a former prosecutor myself, I see what they're doing, what's being made public. And that to me, if I were handling this case and doing these things, that would indicate I'm about to be able to file criminal charges. So what are the things that he sees? What are these signals? Here they are. First and foremost, the fact that they are now trying to get individuals from the Trump Organization to flip on one another. That is typically something that happens, closer to the end of an investigation like this because you have all of this evidence. And by the way, you have to have evidence on the people that you're trying to flip in order to get them to flip, to corroborate, to perhaps hand over a little more evidence, to back it up, to go tell their story to a grand jury. Those are things that the prosecutors are currently working on. But the biggest signal that Preet says he sees is the fact that they have now hired an outside counsel. And he points out that Cy Vance is not seeking re-election, so he's effectively a lame duck. And because they've brought in an outside prosecutor, Pomerantz, to kind of take this over, shows that Vance understands that once he's gone, this thing still has to continue. And that's not exactly something you're going to do if you're not prepared to file criminal charges. It also ensures to a degree that the next U.S. attorney that comes in doesn't just say, no, we're done with this, we're not doing it, investigation closed, because you would have that outside prosecutor that would also be able to, have all of this information. It would look really bad for the organization, but also if the charges have already been filed and the outside prosecutor is the one assigned to it, it's going to be much harder to get that thrown out or dismissed if the next prosecutor chose to do that. So that's the big signal. The outside prosecutor, knowing that Vance is a lame duck, somebody to essentially continue this on after he's gone, maybe even be the one to go into court and prosecute it themselves, that's a big signal. But also, and in what I've seen, Preet didn't mention this, but this is also just coming from somebody who's worked in the legal field for 17 years now. We also have to take into account the length of this investigation. This investigation has been going on for a very long time, and sure, they only just recently got their hands on, was it thousands, maybe even 1 million pages of material from the Trump Organization? But by this point, they actually would have had time to go through there to start compiling evidence. We know the grand jury was impaneled a long time ago, and you don't impanel a grand jury and just sit there for, this long in an investigation like this with these individuals. No, you move quickly from that point forward. I do agree with Preet. In fact, I actually did a video not that long ago where I talked about charges might be coming right around the corner here. So I'm glad that he is kind of seeing the same things that I see. And I would love to maybe even kick off summer 2021 with some pretty awesome charges against Donald Trump and his kids and his organization from the Manhattan DA. We'll see. We could still be months and months away. But if Preet is correct, if these signals say what he thinks they say, may not be that long. This is Hattie. Hattie wants to know why you have not subscribed to our channel. You obviously like our videos, so do us a favor and subscribe.